Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Come everybody. David, the 603 Realtor with us. Good afternoon, David. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Kevin. I'm excited to be here today.
David, I wanted to bring you on the show today because things are changing rapidly in the real estate market. We're seeing a spike in interest rates, and it just got to be a really challenging time to be a realtor. You know, people have been saving forever. Like, David, I'm ready to buy. And then boom, the rates went up. And now that house you were hoping to buy might not be in your price point anymore. What's the advice you got? People must be just giving up.
And they are. I've seen a lot of people, not necessarily my buyers, but other buyers out there. They're throwing their hands up. They're saying, we tried, we gave it our best, and the market is just so high. There's so many other offers. Even if we do find a house, we got to beat out 20, 30, 40 offers. And hey, with those rates increasing, to your point, Kevin, it's pushing a lot of buyers out of the market where they're getting pre-approved for less than they would have a month, 2 months, or a year ago, for that matter. So this is when I tell my buyers, deep breath, namaste, right? Not everything's over yet. The people that get houses are the people who don't give up, stay calm, cool, collected, listen to the counsel of their agent, submit competitive offers, and keep on pounding the pavement. I don't know when that contract will be accepted, but if you do those two things, it will go under contract. So I feel for all these buyers out here, and it's tough, especially when it's like, hey, you know, I'm a young family, you know, trying to get my first home. I got a newborn, but the lease expires in 3 months. I got to get in a new house now, or I don't know what roof's going to be over my family's head. So these are things that I'm hearing all the time. What I can say as a general solution for any buyer is you have to understand the market you're getting into before you're shopping. Because I understand a lot of these crazy things and they add pressure to you, but you can't just wish a house, right? There's certain things that you have to know and be comfortable with to buy in this market. For example, if someone thinks they're going to, if they need a house, they're gonna, you know, pray and wish and throw a penny in the bucket, whatever, the Make-A-Wish fountain or whatever, and think if they submit and offer $50,000 under, you know, seller paying all the closing costs, that's silly. That's not going to get accepted. So what I do, Kevin, as the agent, is I meet these buyers. I'm meeting a lot of buyers that I've found from that have worked with people in the past that just want to try new options. And I just say, let's set the expectations right out of the gate. So you're not getting continuously disappointed. So you actually know the battlefield that you're fighting on to get your offer accepted.
That really makes sense. Like you said, you know, just have to approach it calmly, because it's easy for me and you to say it sitting here, you know, I have a house, you know, I don't know what it's like to be like, oh my God, as you described, 3 months left of the lease. And do I have to re-sign a lease? I don't want to do that. But what if I don't and they rent it to somebody else and I can't find a house in the next 3 months? So you really need to follow the guidance of your realtor right now and try to stay calm, right?
You do. And one thing that I'll share on a personal note is when I was much younger, right after high school, I did actually experience a time of homelessness in my life. So for all those buyers out there that are stressed about what am I going to do when there's no roof over my head, or I get that feeling because I've been there. But it's my job as a professional in the transaction to remember where I was at one point, look at where I'm at now, stay that calm, cool, collected, rock, that professional, so I can hold my buyer's hand and guide them through it. What I say is several things. What loan are you qualified for? We got to get you pre-approved. If you're not pre-approved, you're a window shopper, you ain't getting in a house. So we hook them up with a lender who's trusted, respected, and reputable. That might be someone they know. A lot of times they ask me for recommendations, so I hand that out. If they've got all their financial legs in order, docs in order and whatnot, they can get pre-approved like that. From there, they're a qualified buyer ready to go. Then I'm going to talk to them about what areas are you looking at, because Windham, New Hampshire is going to be a much hotter market than, let's say, Andover, New Hampshire. Both beautiful towns in their own right, very different markets. If you're in Rockingham County, for example, the median home price is $550,000, where if you know you're in Coos, it's going to be less than half of that. So the whole offer strategy, the whole expectations is going to be different depending on what area they're shopping in. So I'm going to tell them about that battlefield, if you will, that they're going to be playing on. From there, they know that if they go see a house, it's probably going to be gone in 2 days. So they know when, if they see a house come up that they like, that they need to call me or text me as soon as possible. Early bird gets the worm. So that's another leg up right there. We also make sure, Kevin, that they understand the qualifications of their loans. I had a guy, he served in the US military and he got pre-approved VA, which is phenomenal. because it's no down payment. Thank God, it's an awesome program. But in this market, specifically where he's shopping and in the price range, a lot of the homes in the current condition don't qualify for VA, and the sellers are usually going with conventional or cash. So we say, this is a great program, but is this the best fit for you? And then that's a conversation I have with them and refer them out to the lender. Because if they can go 3% down conventional, let's say with less qualifications, less boxes to check, hey, it might be a little bit more down, but now they have a much better chance at getting the house. So these are the conversations we have, because you've got conventional, cash, RD, USDA, FHA, 203K, the list goes on and on. And to buyers, they go, oh, these are just all loans and I'm approved for one. So yay is me. And it's like, to a degree, yes, but to another degree, no. We have to know what that financing looks like so we can put you in a house that matches, right? So once those expectations are set, they truly understand their financing, they truly understand the market, that's when we start looking at houses. Because the last thing I want to do as a professional, Kevin, is show some beautiful home, the granite countertops, all clean, just looks beautiful. And then we go to call the lender after and they say, it's got some chipping paint on the outside, great house, but it's not going to fly, right? Or that's too much money, right? We make sure all these things are looked at prior to going to see houses so we don't have disappointment. And so we're not just wasting, my time, the lender's time, it's the client's time, because that's who it's all about. So then we have them just looking at real estate that's in their range, qualifies for their financing, and they have a real shot to get, because that's what it's all about. If you go into, Louis Vuitton was $10, you're probably not walking out with anything. You know what I mean? Nope. So you can't just hope that you can go into a store with that amount of money. You have to know the store you're going to and prepare for that. So I'm kind of going off on tangent on a lot of different things, but there's tons of steps on the onboarding process that we do. These are just some of them to check the boxes to make sure my buyers, when they go out on the weekends to look at houses, they're prepared, well qualified, and when they want to draft an offer, it's going to be competitive.
I really like the process you have in place, because it's overwhelming, because sometimes you forget you've been doing this for a while. This is the first time someone bought a house. They don't know any of these steps. And I told you that story. My wife and I made that mistake being little kids out on a Sunday drive. We saw this tri-level condo that was like 3 times what I could afford. But it was just, out on a Sunday drive. House. We should go look at this. Wow, this is great. And you look at it. Oh. But to your point, every house we saw or condo we saw after that obviously wasn't as nice, because it was 2/3 less cost, and it's just setting that expectations and people know, and explaining to them, hey, this is what's going on in the market, because not everyone stays up to date on the real estate market. You decide we're ready to buy, and you think it's as simple as go in and put an offer and you'll get a house, like going to a store and buying one,
And the market changes daily, and this is something a lot of people don't take into effect. They look at quarterly reports or they look at annual reports. The market moves daily. So me being a full-time agent at a firm with over 45 years of experience, we know what to look for. And obviously we don't have a crystal ball, but we can somewhat predict, certain, future outcomes, at least to a certain probability, estimate, because we're so in tune. We see the interest rates rising. We see the low inventory. We see more buyers entering in the market. So with all that data, we're much better able to set those expectations and advise our buyer clients and seller clients for that matter.
So David, how do people reach out to you? How can I learn more, my friend?
So people can learn more by giving me a buzz or text at 603-520-7924. And this is what I want them to say. They can say whatever they want, but I found a lot of times, Kevin, people are a little nervous. They don't know what to exactly say. They want to ask the right questions. Just say, David, this is my first time buying a house or my 5th time buying a house. I really like you. I like your content and I want to learn more. How do we start this up? Then I'm going to say, great, nice to meet you. Let's plan a time where we can get on a quick onboarding call and I'm going to run through all the details. That way I can answer all the questions. So when they call me, it's not going to be this awkward thing. It's going to be sweet. This is the guy, he's going to send us to the onboard. Also, if someone has social media out there, everyone's got social media out there. Follow the 603 Realtor on Instagram. You can stay up to date with cool things I'm doing in the local New Hampshire community. You can DM me, share my content, and I love interacting with followers, buyers, and sellers there as well.
Awesome. David, appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to call on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you, Kevin.